This is what occurs when you ignore a narcissist. Welcome, everyone. This video has been prepared as a thank you for your time. Today's video is perfect for those curious about narcissists. Because of their distorted understanding of emotions, narcissists are particularly vulnerable to this trap. These individuals have difficulty expressing their emotions since they likely didn't receive much parental support or encouragement when they were children. They also believe that physical prowess is required to earn the admiration of others around them. Is there really anything more debilitating than being unworthy of esteem and regard? Today, I'm going to break out the two extremes of interacting with narcissists, being ignored by narcissists and ignoring them. We don't maintain silence for the goal of being admired or getting attention as narcissists do. In this video, I will discuss how to effectively use silence to deal with a narcissist, as well as what to expect from the narcissist in your absence. Narcissists are so prevalent that avoiding them is challenging, if not impossible, for many people. You can't assume that every narcissist will sign a contract with you. Therefore, it's good to know how to avoid dealing with them in general. To protect yourself emotionally from a narcissist, you must take a position and refuse to engage with or acknowledge the person in any way. We must ensure that our policy of radio silence doesn't resemble the narcissists. Narcissists, for instance, resort to such tactics to punish and control their followers. When confronted with criticism, rejection, or any other sort of confrontation, narcissists often reply with silence. Since they are too busy planning their next supply run or the destruction of their opponent, they keep silent while they are up to not good. When a narcissist abruptly stops talking, it's almost always intentional. They merely put it to bad use. Because of this, the narcissist's silence might be interpreted as cruel, vengeful, and driven entirely by malice. But it's for our own good that we give narcissists the silent treatment, go grey rock on, or otherwise stop all forms of emotional communication with them. It was a huge error to put your trust in the narcissist. We can see that for ourselves. When interacting with narcissists, we know to be cautious. Our expectation is that the narcissist will try to test our limits by provoking us verbally and behaviourally. It's worth noting, too, that if we don't speak out when the narcissist feels mistreated, they'll accuse us of emotional abuse and neglect. They would insist that we are intentionally misleading them because they never gave us the cold shoulder. Put simply, narcissists are hypocrites. They use silence as a weapon of brutality and manipulation, yet we're the bad guys when we have to resort to it to protect ourselves. On the other hand, this is because narcissists have a hard time swallowing their own medicine. It has worried and perplexed the narcissist that we have remained silent. That we aren't doing anything to alleviate their frustration is making things worse for the narcissist. Silence is the strongest weapon against narcissists, since they can only manipulate us if we give them access to our innermost thoughts and feelings. When we don't speak up, it's so that narcissists may not get what they want. No form of authority over them is being exercised here. At the end of the day, safety is of the utmost importance. It's important to prioritize self-care and not let anyone else, especially a narcissist, guilt you out of it. Also, you are not a narcissist if you choose to ignore someone who is one, even though the narcissist may call you that. If someone ignores you, that doesn't necessarily indicate they're trying to emotionally abuse you. Based on our research, this is the best way to free yourself from a narcissist's control. The greatest way to get a narcissist to quit pestering you is to ignore them. You also get points for being unable to articulate how you feel adequately. If you let a narcissist into your life, they will mess with your head and use you up. They require us to respond to them emotionally, with empathy and in some other way. But if not, they'll have to use another way to enter our lives. You shouldn't give them anything, really, but you should anticipate that they will occasionally resort to name-calling and verbal abuse in an attempt to discredit and injure you in the hopes that you will respond. Narcissists are more repelled by those who avoid interaction with them. This is what we're hoping for, as we desperately need some time apart from them. If giving them the cold shoulder or grey rocking them will make them stop talking, then so be it. We can't afford to give our precious mental and emotional energy to people who only seek to deplete us. Narcissists have the potential to harm us on many levels if we don't take measures. Thus, it is our responsibility to assume leadership and forestall their further interference. What I truly want to do is encourage everyone to do everything they can to liberate themselves from narcissists. Keep in mind that narcissists can only successfully influence us if we allow ourselves to become emotionally invested in them. When dealing with a narcissist, it's important to use restraint. Narcissists will take over if you let them. This is about everything that I have for you today. I hope you found the video informative. Don't be shy about sharing your thoughts by posting a comment below. Please accept our deepest gratitude for watching this. Exposing what the narcissist will do to win you back. Welcome to another episode in which we will discuss every aspect of narcissists. In today's video, I discuss how a narcissist would attempt to win you back despite all their transgressions. However, because they are so skilled at manipulating emotions and situations, escaping may not be as simple as you believe. Please join me in welcoming everyone. Thank you very much for visiting my channel and subchannel. I guarantee you that there is no better time than now to subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell button so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. If there is one thing we have learned about narcissists, it is that they can't be avoided. There are always one or two individuals who enter your life. How you observe them is the only thing that matters. There is a possibility that you will not recognize them until you watch this video or other similar videos on narcissists. And if you've ever had a previous narcissist in your life who attempts to re-enter it by whatever means necessary, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Those who have been revealed or unmasked believe they can still make a comeback and be welcomed back with open arms if they play their cards effectively. Today, we will examine the narcissist's reasons for re-entering our lives, as well as the techniques and games they use to do so. If we invite them back into our life, I will demonstrate some of their ways. Because there would be no turning back if we established no contact or zero contact, in which the narcissist is unable to reach us or communicate with us in any way. I am certain that they would still attempt to defame you and turn everyone against you. However, it is not always possible to avoid interaction, especially when children are involved. Additionally, some individuals are uneasy with zero touch for no apparent reason. Zero contact is not always a viable strategy, regardless of the circumstances. Nevertheless, the narcissist is always an active and present threat. People frequently attempt to avoid narcissists by creating clear boundaries in situations where no contact is virtually impossible. If they can reach you, narcissists will attempt to get back together with you as soon as possible. What do they seek, however? Why would a narcissist want to reunite with you? As a matter of practicality, and to keep the video brief, there are only two things to remember. As a first step, you have a product of interest to them. As long as you continue to possess whatever they desire, a narcissist will strive to re-enter your life. The second most common reason is because they want to finish what they started, which is the destruction of your life. They are attempting to set you up for a difficult fall. If you've gotten rid of them in the past, or if they've gotten rid of you in the past, and you're now standing on your own, they'll try to bring you down again. Narcissists are renowned for their perseverance in obtaining what they desire from others. They are aware that it will require some effort on their part to overcome the obstacles you have created. Given that they will employ these strategies, you will need to be prepared for them. They will do everything possible to make us pity them. The narcissist is aware that if their problems are so dire that you feel pity for them, you may give them a second chance. To make you feel pity for them, narcissists will fabricate or concoct up stories about their tragedy. They usually utilize the excuse of illness. They would lie or pretend to be ill to convince you that they were on their deathbed. In addition, the narcissist may utilize the death of a family member to play with your emotions. They would portray themselves as being distraught by the failure. A funeral would be a scene of pranks, with children doing whatever to attract attention. Vulnerability is crucial because it makes the narcissist appear weak, helpless, and harmless. The narcissist enjoys performing the nice card con. They would sneak up on you while pretending to be humble and eager to help. Additionally, they will go out of their way to make you grin. So far as you can tell, they are always delighted to see you. The narcissist is essentially attempting to win you over and persuade you that they are no longer a threat. If the resource they wish to recover is a primary source, they can continue doing so for as long as necessary. They can also maintain the "I've changed" act for a time. There is nothing selfish in asserting or promising to change. They will go to great lengths to demonstrate their newly acquired maturity to those who require proof. They would go to great lengths to persuade you that they have changed or are in the process of changing. Although I'm not suggesting that narcissists can't try to better themselves, many of them fail. The sooner you return them when things begin to improve, the greater the likelihood that they and you will be disappointed. As soon as the narcissist feels secure and has your love again, this old monster will rear its ugly head. As I have frequently stated in my videos, suffering and self-sacrifice are what have shaped narcissists into who they are today. In addition to being a mental issue, the problem also has spiritual dimensions. You are left with a narcissist who has become more adept at manipulating you and making you feel insane. In other words, allow the narcissist to attempt to change, but do not attempt it yourself. These are the three most prevalent ways narcissists attempt to re-enter your life. Playing the weak or the victim, charming you with fake pleasantness, or convincing you that they have changed. A narcissist cannot let go of any source of supply, especially if they are not yet finished with you, because they believe it is up to them to determine if they want you around or not. Therefore, they are exerting every effort to regain your trust by delivering their absolute best performance. Moreover, narcissists rarely view second chances as an opportunity to make atonement for their past sins. They view it as an opportunity to finish what they have begun, therefore there will be no happy ending. Consequently, keep these limitations in mind and be cautious. Additionally, if you believe the narcissist is negatively impacting your mental and physical health, the best course of action is to retreat, regain composure, and then try again. As usual, I hope this information was of some use to you. It would be greatly appreciated if you could like and share it in any way possible. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first visit on this channel. Have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching this video. When you discard a narcissist, this is what happens. I'm glad to see you again. It's been a while. Everyone, have a wonderful day. My advice is simple. Get rid of a narcissist as soon as possible. This is why today's video is all about it. Please note that I'm not just talking about romantic relationships with a narcissist, but also with narcissistic family members and friends. But this particular discard wasn't something the narcissist had in mind or planned. There's no denying it. Therefore, my research objective is to investigate what happens in the minds of narcissists who have been rejected. Even when their relationships come to an end, narcissistic persons feel entitled to the outcome. They want to be in charge of every aspect of your life. They believe they are the only ones with the power to shape the future of their relationship. The narcissist should be in power as long as it's in their best interest. If you abandon or expel the narcissist from your life, they will take offense. Those who have been excommunicated are almost certain to suffer a narcissistic injury, since their false sense of self is attacked by their removal. Narcissists, on the other hand, have the perfect opportunity to present themselves as the victim when you break up with them. However, in reality, they're the ones who abandon their victim. Despite their apparent displays of anguish and tenderness, they are secretly plotting your demise. How you get rid of the narcissist matters a lot when it comes to how much damage you may inflict on them. Even if you dump the narcissist in a public or private way, the narcissist will still be surprised by your decision. As a result, they'll pretend they're the victim in order to hide their shame and anger. Narcissists can detach and blame you since no excuse is ever acceptable when you dump a narcissist. In no way were they to blame for their dismissal because of anything they did or said. If you point out any issues, they'll either downplay, ignore, or pretend to have no recollection of them. According to the narcissist, they were in charge. If you merely follow, they appear to be happy. All of this was done with the express purpose of assisting them rather than helping you in any way. They genuinely cared about you in a way that no one else ever could. They can't imagine what their lives would be like if you weren't there. In order to fool you into thinking that you and the narcissist are in a reciprocal relationship, they would say things like that. As a result, they'll keep spreading the word that you're self-centered and unappreciative. It's possible that their reaction to a discard will differ depending on whether or not you were an important supply source for the narcissist. If you are a primary source of income for the narcissist, he or she would fight tooth and nail to keep you around. Using their flying monkeys, they'll try to persuade you to change your mind. Their eyes will be filled with tears. To get your attention, they'll make suicidal threats and engage in self-destructive conduct. At any given moment, they'll try to swoop down on you and take your life. And it's because a narcissist can hit rock bottom because of the primary source's discard. In the event that they lose an essential source of supply, narcissists sink into the depths of despair. In order to restore their primary source of sustenance, the narcissist will only do so when they have hit rock bottom. Nevertheless, the narcissist may be so shamed by their loss that they disappear. The fact that so many of them can't stand it is undeniable. The narcissist will, however, constantly smear and degrade you if you're their secondary supply or even negative supply. Meanwhile, they're putting together an all-flying monkey pity party. It's also possible for them to pretend that you aren't a substantial source of supply, which would prompt them to go to another source of provision and pretend that they are fine without you. However, they pretend to be unconcerned due to their belief in more trustworthy sources of supplies and the ability to recapture you when the moment is right, making them look to be unconcerned. When it all comes down to it, the amount of narcissistic supply someone provides is what really matters here. A small sample of narcissists' reactions to being discarded is provided in this video. Furthermore, the narcissist's response to your departure depends on your relationship with them. Who are you? What are you doing here? This is what narcissists always think. In addition, retaliation is always on the mind of the narcissist because they are unable to forgive or forget. Narcissists will never forget what you did for them once you've broken up with them. Because of their desperate want for narcissistic supply, they may appear to move quickly under certain conditions. They haven't forgotten about you or given up on your relationship with them, as some might assume from this. Because of the shock and disbelief induced by the unexpected rejection, a narcissist who loses control of their life is more prone to experience narcissistic fury, humiliation, or denial. Leaving a door open for the return of a narcissist after a breakup is a surefire way for you to get hurt again. That's all there is to say today. Anyone who has dealt with a narcissist before is encouraged to share their experience in the comment section below. Please give it a thumbs up and spread the word if you liked it. It's been a pleasure having you here today. Thank you very much. This is how narcissists make things up when they're caught red-handed. Hi everyone. Thanks for clicking this video, and I hope you'll enjoy it as well. Narcissists utilize a variety of strategies to make amends for their actions, but they don't always do so in the classic sense of paying the price for their mistakes. Making up is what narcissists do when they reconcile or resolve a conflict with the goal of restoring things to their pre-conflict state. Considering narcissists' proclivity for mischief and harm to others, most of this is to be expected. These folks are tough to communicate with in part because of this. Narcissists are never sorry. They don't apologize unless they have no choice. Even when they do, it's just a fake apology. They'd rather point the finger at others or external circumstances than take responsibility for their own actions. At least 3 ways in which narcissists avoid dealing with their mistakes will be discussed today. Even though you caught them red-handed, they still won't apologize. So, this is what they'll do instead. First, narcissists prefer not to be reminded of their mistakes if no one else is to blame. They're trying to cultivate an atmosphere where the past isn't remembered. If you bring it up in any other context, they don't want to listen about it. Narcissist has a hard time receiving criticism about their defects and limitations, especially when it is directed at them. If you act as if nothing has happened, they will conclude that you care about them as well. Second, narcissists rely on a few factors to make sure their makeup or reconciliation session goes as planned. Prolonged play is a favorite strategy of theirs for gaining an advantage. It doesn't matter if the narcissist is a family member, a friend, a colleague, or a love partner. Once they've realized they've offended you, the narcissist may give you some breathing room to avoid having to apologize or tackle the problem. Whenever they see you again, they may decide to avoid talking to or otherwise avoiding you in order to avoid bringing up an earlier conflict. And then, after some time, with gifts and a pleasant smile, they'd come right up to you like nothing had ever happened between you and them. The narcissist expects that their scheme will work and that your attraction to them will be acutely perceptible as a result. It's possible you'll give it another go if you pretend nothing ever happened between you two in the first place. However, you will keep repeating the same pattern of the toxic cycle if you decide to follow their plan. When it comes to a narcissist, they always employ their usual tricks. This time they're attempting to persuade you that accepting their hand again will make things better. After a few months, though, you'll see that they've returned to their former ways again. And if you keep bringing up what they did, the narcissist will blame you for being pessimistic and keep reminiscing about the past. They may go to great lengths to persuade you that bringing up the past is a sign of weakness, and you have to get on with your life and focus on the present moment with them. There is a double standard for narcissists in everything they do, as I have already stated before. In the face of their own actions, they refuse to accept responsibility or apologize. On the other hand, they'll be quick to accuse you if you're to blame, until you ultimately admit your sins and shortcomings, which were never yours. To begin with, they'd be happy to batter you with guilt for hours on end. We can no longer look the other way when it comes to their blatant hypocrisy. So, the narcissist gives you as much leeway as possible so that you don't have to confront them about their behavior. Alternatively, the narcissist may pretend to believe what you're saying, even though they don't. They may pretend to be interested in what you have to say and to be paying attention, but this is merely a ruse to make you believe they care. because of this and that, the narcissist may agree to accept responsibility in the end. However, the narcissist has never done so and has no plans to do so in the future. They never meant what they said. In the eyes of the narcissists, there is nothing wrong with their actions. According to them, they're trying to make you believe that they're taking responsibility for something that wasn't their fault in the least. This implies that they have no excuses, and they may even go as far as to apologize for anything. They choose to respond, "Okay, I'm sorry," instead of taking responsibility for their actions and apologizing for whatever they've done wrong. A narcissist is always on the lookout for ways to appear reasonable while evading any responsibility of their own. They're constantly coming up with new ways to avoid taking responsibility for their actions in order to appear rational. They just want an easy way for themselves. Thirdly, when narcissists are unable to come to an agreement on their own terms, they typically resort to seduction. Cheap conversation, or even physical intercourse, is more appealing to the narcissist than trying to work out the issue with their partner. They excel at manipulating people's emotions using their tools. To gain your forgiveness, the narcissist will try to convince you that they are worthy of your trust. Your willpower and morale are their primary targets. They utilize intimacy to convince their victims that they are remorseful and merely want to be close to them, get laid with you, and expect that everything will be back to normal after that. This is all a ruse to get people's attention away from the real problem, so please don't get swayed. They may be very sweet at this moment, but can you still believe it's true even after all their lies? They don't want to talk about what they did wrong in any of the cases. They choose the kiss and make up strategy in order to avoid confronting the basis of the problem. For them, it's enough to make generalizations about the situation and propose reforms that are hollow. When it comes to taking responsibility for their acts, narcissists have a hard time doing so and think it is unnecessary to apologize to anybody or anything. Reconciliation can only be achieved if both parties act as if the dispute is only a misunderstanding. For our part, we want to expose the narcissist's delusions and put them face to face with the truth. It is time to stop giving them another chance to harm our life. Please accept my heartfelt thanks for taking the time to listen to this little explanation. Please use the comment section below to share your opinions and experiences on this topic. And please subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell if you'd like to be notified whenever there's a new video. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this. It means a lot to me.